Let's get started. So we learned last week to use a random to generate the cost. So you really cannot predict uh, where and what the coming car look like. So when you do a game, if it's random, it's fair. So if you can predict it, then you can trick it. So right. So that's what we did. So today let's continue on it. But before we start today's class, I want to mention it here. I said that this is the highest class for Python 5 for Python. So level 5 is the highest. If we wanted to continue, we have two choices. Actually, I will say we have three choices. Number one, I encourage you to do Java. Number two, we're going to do USQL. So if you really want to help your in your college application, and let's go to do USQL. So we will go to the computer Olympiad, so we can go to compete. So we will start the USQL class very soon after this class ends. And then number three, I do not think most of you will be interested, but we can also have this choice. We just learn some specific skills, some specific areas. Let's say if we do map background thing, I do maps. So how can we use Python to generate a map? So like a Google map, right? And the Bing map. And how do you find the address? Those actually are very specific area. You may not use it in your lifetime. So it really does not help that much. But if you wanted to find a job in that specific area, then you have those skills that helps a lot. Or we do big data analysis, or we do AI, do like a computer learning. For the elementary school students or like a lower level of middle school students, I think that may be too much. You may not be able to get it. But thanks to USQL, they now allow the Python developers to participate in the competition. So we can learn, we can use our skills, then we just need to change our mindset a little bit. So how do we do competitive programming? So that's what we can go. So we will open that class. We always have Java class. You can choose Java because Java is a little bit harder than Python. Okay, so you can choose Java or let's do USQL. Okay, so USQL, you can go to the competition. You can if you can get into the Gold and the Platinum, then that will help your college application a lot. All right, so let's continue. So last week we used random to reset the vehicle. So if the vehicle coming down and reach to the edge, then you just randomly reset its color, its position, and its dimension. So today we have one more random job to do. That is to change the creation of all coming cars using random. So if we go to our code, so when we create our own class here, it's not random, right? The only random thing is the starting position. We use random. Can I generate the car using the random dimension, like a width, height, color, right? So that's easy because we already have all the cars or have the code when we do initial, when we do reset. Okay, when we do reset, we have that, right? We have that. So it's easy for us to change that. So let's just do this. So you see, we created car 1, car 2, car 3, and car 4. They are all random. So let's do that. Let me give you that code. Right. So now let me change my code here as well. So I create my car 1, car 2 up to car 4. All use random. Okay. You do not change the x value. X value because it's the first lane, second lane, third lane, and the fourth lane, right? You don't want to change that one, but change the starting position. So they are all random now. So if you save your code and then now if you run it, so that's what it looks like. Okay. So it's all random now. And the position is also random. So now you have a very good system. Have a very good system. So the car initialization is random. When you reset, it's random as well. So now let's focus on sound. We used sound before in our game. So today let's just add a sound to it. Without sound, the game is not that fun, right? So let's get the sound files. Can you go to that shared drive and get all those sound files? What are those sound files? You have the crash sound, you have the manual sound, and you have the background music. That's the RES MP3 file, and it's game over. If the game is over, if you crash, and you have that sound. Okay, let's do that one. Let's go get those. Go ahead and get all those files, download them. I'll give you 1 minute to do it. And once you get those sound, I ask you to finish this, okay? Let's load the manual sound and play it when we manual left or right. And I want you to create a channel to do it because we have other sound to play later on. So you do not use music to play the manual sound, okay? You create a channel. And if your vehicle maneuver to the left or maneuver to the right, you play that sound. Use 10 minutes to do it, and I will check your work. Let's get this done by 7:30, hopefully, okay? Actually have like 6 minutes. Hopefully you can get that done. Usually, I say 10 minutes. I expect that you really be able to finish by then. And it's also an in classroom class. So we'll do that. So I want you to do like a play the song. So you need to go back to the old code, how to create a channel, how to create a sound, and how to play a sound. And it only plays when you manually left. And it only plays when you manually right. Okay? Move forward and move backwards should not play. Okay, if you do not have that Google Drive, okay, let me do that again here. So you can get all my class materials from here. That's a Google Drive, shared Google Drive, okay? So let me also put that in my slides in the future if you guys need it, and more, it will be more convenient. Does anyone of you finish? If you finish, you can volunteer and you can let me know, raise your hand. Get all those sound files, okay? All those sound files. Nobody finished? Still have the idea how to play sound, how to create a channel. You guys still have that idea? You know how to do that? Jennifer, how far have you got?
I got to the channel part, like the creating channel part.
Okay. So Brian Peng, how far have you got? Brian. I should have two Brians. And I only see one today, right? Oh, I have Brian Yuan here. Brian Peng, how far have you got? I cannot hear you.
I didn't get far.
Okay. All right. So yeah, then let's do it together. Okay. All right. So how do you play a sound? Just do this. You just load the menu with sound, right? And then you then create a channel, and then in your menu action, add those. So let me give you this code. I think we only have 3 lines of code. Let's just quickly do it and see the effect. Okay. All right. This is the one you need to create before the menu. So let's do it here. We create our cost, right? So let me create our sound here. Okay. So you see, I load this sound. I make this sound maneuver. Then I create a channel. All right. So the next part is just one line of code, but you need to put it into two places. That's this one. So you wanted to use the channel to play it. And I want you to look at my screen where I will put it. Put it here. Okay, so let me see. So you see the right key pressed, you play that sound. The left key pressed, you play that sound. So let me save my code and then run it. And then now let me just get my left key. Okay, you see. Okay. All right. So I think probably let me check my code. Random. Okay. Okay. The speed is random. That's okay. Because it looks like my car moves very fast. My player's car. All right. So can I get you to share your code, to share your application? Anyone wants to volunteer?
I can do it.
Go ahead, Jesse. Share your
Okay,
sound.
I'm pretty sure I'm sharing screen.
I see your screen. Good. Now I hear the sound. Left. Use the left key. Does it work for you?
Yeah, it's a little bit of ear rape, but it works.
So left key also works. Right key both work, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So let me check a gears work. So you know, if I call Serena, Serena will tell me that she use another computer. Serena, do you still use a different computer? You have two monitors, two computers, Serena. Can you hear me, Serena? Hello, Serena. All right. So Selena, can you share? Do you still have? Yeah, can you share that? So Missy, can you check Serena? Did you share the sound? I do not hear the sound though.
Wait, I shared it. Let me share the sound. It's not working.
So
Yeah,
okay, I hear it.
it was
Good. Okay, so now you have the sound, right? Very good.
Yeah.
Thanks. Okay, so let me continue. Okay, so let's now you have the sound that you know the maneuver, right? So we need to add more to it. So can we load the REST MP3 and play it as the background music? Oh, that's easy, right? So you guys just go ahead and do it, and I can show you the code. I'm not going to give you the code this time. I want you to type it in, but I can show you the code here. I really want you, you be able to do the work without just copy and paste my code. I want you to think about that, what you need to do. So this is what you need to do. Just play the sound. So when the game starts, okay, I play that rest sound. So let me put it here. Okay, let me put it here. Before the main loop, for sure. Okay. So now if I save my code, oh. That's your game. That's the background music for your game. Okay, so this is the code. I'm not going to give you this code. I really want you guys to tap in. Right? So I wanted to check 2 students' work, see if you have that background music now. And then when you play the background music and you also manually left and manually right to see if you get those songs. Brian Ying, can you share yours?
I'm still working on it.
All right, Daniel, do you mind? Daniel,
I can't screen share.
okay. So Chloe,
I'm on another device.
okay, Hagen. Manuel. Okay, good. Thanks. Let me check girls. So Jennifer. Run it. Share your music. Okay. Manuel, left key. Good. All right. Thanks. So now you have the sound. You have the background music to put you in that atmosphere. So this is a race. This is a game, right? And you can manually left and manually right. So let's continue. What else we need to add to it? So this is the part. So now let's do the last task for today. We play the crash sound when 2 cars collides. And so this actually is a little bit involved. How do you know that 2 cars collided? And how shall we do it? Think about this for 1 minute, and I ask you to give me ideas. What in your mind that you can determine that 2 cars collided? Okay. So once we finish this one, and then the next part is a score. So how do we get a score? I think that will be for the next week. Okay. But if we can finish it today sooner, then we can get some work done for next week. All right. So let me stop sharing. How can we determine if 2 vehicles collide in the game? Anyone has any idea? Can you speak up?
Can't we
Anyone?
check if both their X and Y are the same, then they would collide at any point?
Yeah, you are in the right the track. Yes, yes. So if X and X the same, usually actually the Y is the same, X the same, you collide. Okay, Thomas, what's your idea?
Well, the cars are drawn from the top left, right? So you just have to see if the cars, like, you can get the boundaries by like doing its X, like, is not less than, like, well, just get the boundaries by doing less than or greater than. So then you can see if the incoming cars, I guess X is inside that.
Good. You both are in the right direction. Okay, so that's what exactly it is. You need to do it. I hope you remember when we decided if I do a mouse click, if I do a mouse click, if I click on the button, and you remember that you use collide, right? So let me share my screen. Let's take a look at that as well. So go to the Pygame website and look up Sprite, and I want you to look up this method and tell me. Go to the Pygame website. And then go to the Sprite. Okay. So here is the Sprite. Let me see.
It's in the row advanced stuff. It's in between mask and transform.
Yeah, thanks. So you can see this Sprite, you can see the collide method, okay? So collide any group collide, and just take a look at that. And then when you see that, you should know how we should implement it. That will help us to determine if Sprite collide, okay? So if you go to do that, then you can determine if two sprites are collided over each other. And we just make it call a child of the sprite. So it should inherit this method from sprite. So you can use that. And how it is implemented, it is implemented just like what Jesse and Thomas mentioned. You need to calculate the dimension and then doing the special to see if they overlap each other or not. If any edge touched each other, it's a collide. It's a collision. Collision. Okay. So now we know how we can determine if a car collides with another one. So let's code it. So first, load the car crash sound. Let me give you this code, okay? So we need to load this sound and we put it into channel 1. Because the manual sound is in the channel 2, right? So let me give you this code. All right, so let's just load this one and put it here. And we have the crash sound. And we will play this sound, okay? When the two car collide. And after that, what we are going to do? So in the main loop, we need to add this collision list, okay? So we need to do this package collide. So we use our player car and to check if it collides with any car in the coming cars. If there is any, so what do? You just play the crash sound, and then you need to check if the sound is finished playing. If it is not finishing, you sleep. Let that sound to continue playing. Okay. So let me give you this code as well. This one is to be done in the main loop, and I want you to look at my screen where I put it. Okay, let me give you this code, and I hope you understand this code. Okay. So let me give you that and come back here. Okay. So when we do the update, okay, that means you are changing the position. So now I want to check if there's any car collide to each other. go to import tab, okay, import tab. So this will give you a list. Just use sprite class, it will generate a list, okay. Using play card, and all the cards come into you if you collide with anyone. If it does collide, what do? You play that sound. So let's import this. Import time. Okay. So let me save this code and then now and run it. So far, no collide.
Sweet dreams are made of this.
I have a collide. All right. Okay. Do you get that? Does it play the sound? Okay. Does it play that sound for you? If the player car collided with a coming car. Let me stop here, and I want someone to share it. Anyone wants to share it? Thomas, you wanted to share yours? Does it work for you first?
Not right now.
So who get it already? Depend. Do you get it?
I'm still working on it.
Let me just share my code to you. Okay, I want you guys to see. So where you put it when you do the update, right? Once you do the update, then you get this one. Okay? So my play car is moving very fast. So now let me get my play car moving slowly so I can see the effect. Okay, so let me make it a 1 to 5, the random value. So let me show mine. Hopefully I can get a slower moving car. Okay, so let me do it again. Then you can see that. All right, so anyone can share yours? So you get the background music. You can get the manual sound. And remember, you can use up key and the down key to decrease the speed and move your vehicle backwards. So try that. You can so if you put let me do it. Let me just make this 1. So you can see you can avoid the incoming car. Okay. So let me just do 1. Let me just do this one slowly. Okay. Okay, so let me check it. Let me check your work. So who wants to share? I do not get enough volunteers, so let me just call Jeff. You get yours to work? Jeff.
The device I can share on is not really working for sharing. I'm using two devices, and the one I have Pygame on, that device can't really share right now.
So that's the work for you.
Yeah, it works for me.
Okay, so let me get Lucia. How about you? Can you share yours?
Sorry, I'm still working.
Okay. All right. So let me then let me get you again, Jesse. Does it work for you?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Is it supposed to detect a collision if it's going through the car? Because it's not really detecting it if like it's going right by the side. I think it's better if I show you. I didn't share. Hold on, let me share. I didn't share computer audio. Well, I have it like this. But if I have a car and it goes like right through, like for example, this car doesn't detect it. And also, that's really funny.
You hear the crash sound, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes it happened to me as well. So even though the two car actually one's go under another one, but it did not come did not count as collided. I think that may be some bug in it, but most of the time it works. But if this bug like that, we cannot correct it. We just rely on it. If it's collided, it works that way. It did happen to me as well. I noticed that. So, Jinjin, does it work for you, Jinjin?
Yeah, I can share.
Yeah, can you share?
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna rerun it.
Okay.
It's kind of lagging, but it works.
It works on your computer, right? Okay. All right. So let me check my slides. All right. So let me. I wanted to continue because we have last week. Next week will be the last class, so that's why I wanted to rush a little bit. I really wanted to get the game done. So okay. So you see, that's what we add. So now. So after the crash, we wanted to play the game over music. And then we quit the game. We don't want to hear the crash sound again, right? So now let's just do that. Just make add those two, okay? Those three lines of code. So once you play this music, the background music will not play anymore. As I mentioned, the music will only play one. You can only play one music at a time. So if you load this music, the previous loaded music is trash. It doesn't remember it anymore. Okay. So let me give you this code and I want you to replace it. And then now you will not be able to hear the crash sound again. But you will hear the game over. So we are not going to continue the game. So we'll make the game over. Okay. Use that. And come back to the code and you need to replace this part. Okay. If this such a thing, you only replace these two lines of code. You still play this one. Okay. Car crash, right? You see here. That's my code. You play the car crash, and then you add this music. Add this to it. So in the end, do this. Add this to not two lines, those lines. You play the car crash and then play game over and then set carry on to false. And then it will not continue to play that sound for you. Let me run it now.
Audio Jungle.
Okay, game is over. So it's automatically close my game. So let me run it again.
Audio Jungle.
Game is over. Okay. So now you are thinking you are right. Sound wise, you have everything. Okay, sound wise, you have everything. So this code needs to be added before the main loop. So now we run your game and see how long can you car stay alive. Can you do that? Just do that, okay? Just do that. See how long can you stay? How many? So just run your game. Let me run it here. So I make it very slow, right? Let me just.
Audio Jungle.
So mine no more than 5 seconds. So you just try that. Right now we are not perfectly yet. So that's the idea. So the game actually is for us, you know, to play the card to avoid any collision. You stay as long as you can. The longest you can stay, the highest score you can get. So the next step is for us to get the scores. So let's implement that. Okay. So here you see you end your game, right? So now let's do the scores. Okay. So we have two major tasks. We need to do game score and we need to do the time. We cannot finish this, so we can leave some for next week. And then we make a perfect game, okay? So to make it look better, we wanted to enlarge our game window, okay? So you now you wanted to make it a real game, okay? So it looks like that. So you wanted to change your screen size to 800 by 600. We then change the place car initial position. We also draw more lines. So what does it look like? So let me follow me. Look at my screen. So you change this to width to 800, 600 at least. Okay. You have that. So your game window is larger. And also you say you wanted to, let me close those. So you wanted to put your vehicle to 600. So it's on the bottom, your player's vehicle. So here, when you do that, Y 600. So let me still make this 100 because we needed to do score or 10. So I get the speed as 1 to 10. So every car, its speed is random between 1 to 10. All right. So now we need to draw more lanes. So this is the code for you to draw more lanes. Let me give you that code. And I will show you where to replace it. So make it look more like a real game, okay? So give you this code. And come here. You see here we are drawing the lens, right? You fill green, and then you draw the field, and then you draw lens. Let's replace that. So, okay, you have two greens. field. That you fill it with green, then you draw the field, and then you draw the length. So let me just run it. So it looks like this now. It's a little bit bigger. You can make it even bigger, okay? So if you make it even bigger, just make sure you play a card started from the bottom. So you set that value, okay? You set that value. Follow me. And this is for you to draw the lens and draw the field. Let me run it again. So this is what you see now. You got that? Anyone got that? Hagen, you got that? Can you share yours? Hagen. Cool. Okay, good. All right. Okay, so you have the game field. You have the racing field, okay, for you. So now we need to determine the score. So we just prepare to make it look better, right? Okay, so run it, see it, and try use your arrow keys to control your car. You should be able to. So how do we score? This is the part. So this is set by ourselves, right? So how do you win the game? The longer you stay in the track, the higher the score. The higher the speed of the player's car, the higher the score. You want to, factor those two in: the timer and the speed. If your car is out of the road, or if your car is out of the game window, your score is set to 0 and the game is over. Okay? If your car collides with a car, the game is over. So if you collide with a car, the game is over, but the score is not reset. So how much score you get, you have that. But you move your car off the road, you get a reset. Okay? If your car now moves out of the window, like a too high, and you run backwards, and you go down, you reset the score to 0. So that's the rule. Okay. So then how do we set the score? We assume the speed of 5 is the best. Okay. If your player's car speed is 5, that's the best. So every second that your car stay on the road, you get 5 points. So if your speed is high, say 10, you can add it. That's what you got. 10 minus 5 divided by 5 and times 5, right? So you get that score. So if you make your vehicle speed equal to 0, so 0 minus 5 is minus 5. Minus 5 divided by 5 is minus 1. Minus 1 times 5 is minus 5. So every time you stay 1 more second on the road and your place car doesn't move, you get a negative 5 points, okay, to your score. And of course, if you run backwards, you get more. You deduct more from your total score. But you could do backwards, okay, in order to avoid a coming car that runs too fast, and you cannot avoid using maneuver. Okay, so you can do that, but you get a score deducted. So if you drive backwards, or your car is slower than 5, you see that your score may decrease as time goes. The speed is the read of the speed when we calculate the score at that moment. Remember that a player's car's speed shall be negative value. Okay, it must move up this negative value. So we just need to calculate it carefully, okay? So that's the rule, and that's how we set it. You can change that yourself, okay? All right, so let's first borrow the code that we used before for displaying score. Okay, so let's do that. How to display your score. And this, I think next week we will be able to put the formula in. Okay, so get that code and put this before the main loop. Okay, yeah. So you can update the score, and you score the initial score set to 0, and then you borrow that code. And we had that before, right? Then now, so you call the update score in the main loop. Just update the score. Right? Call it. And then see how it looks like. Of course, we have not do calculation yet. So every time when we do an update, I wanted to calculate the score. I wanted to update the score. Let me see how it looks like. That's what it looks like.
Audio Jungle.
Okay, that's what it looks like. So you can display the score. Now we need to have code to calculate the score. So now let's focus on calculating the score. We will do it step by step. We calculate the score every second. So every second, what does it mean? We need to use the Pygame time get ticks. So this will give you the time, how many milliseconds passed since the initialization of Pygame. Okay, we will use that to track the time. So then you can know how long have you stayed in the game, right? So what do we do? So right before the main loop, let's create the start time and the check time variable. Okay, start check time and the start time. Let's do that. You follow me? Do this right before the main loop. So that means here. Right before here. Okay. So that will be your start time. And of course, I say check time. So you need to check your time here in the main loop as well. So why do I do that? Because we wanted to check my time, now do the calculation every second. That means 10,000 milliseconds, right? 10,000 or just 1,000 milliseconds. I'm sorry, 1,000 milliseconds. So then we need to have code in the main loop. Now, in the main loop, we do the check time again. If it is 1,000 milliseconds large, then the start time, we will calculate the score. We will also set the start time. So you see, you do the check time again. So if that's the difference is larger than 10,000, that means it's 1 second passed. So this is your score. How do you calculate your score? So your original score, your previous score, +5, because we say you stay 1 second in the game, you get 5 points. Then it needed to factor in the speed. Okay. And then we said that the speed for the player vehicle needed to be negative value. So that's why we have this negative value. Okay. -5 divided by 5 times 5. Right. So actually it's just this. Just that value. Right? divided by 5 times 5, right? It's exactly this difference. And then now you reset the start time, so next time you can check your time again. So next second. So let me give you this code and you just replace the 1 and I will show you where to replace it. And I think once we get to here, we should be good. Okay, so let me just do it here. Look at my screen. You say you have the code to call up the score, right? That's this line. Replace this then with all the code I just gave to you. Okay. All right. So this for you to calculate the score. And then you reset the start time to the check time. And then you update the score. So let me run it. So hopefully I can stay for 1 second. You see my score decrease. So my total score is 9.
I have some things I missed basically the entire class.
Okay. So then you can only get the recorded. You just joined, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So then we need to send you the record. I can give you the code for today though. So I think that's what we get so far. So you can calculate the score. If you stay in the game longer, you get more score. But of course, you need to maintain the speed. The best speed is 5. Okay, the best speed is 5. If it's less than 5, what do? Your score get decreased. If you move backwards, you decrease more the score. All right, so let me run it again. You see, I only get 3 points here. Okay, so let's just stop here. I hope you can get to this far, and I wanted to see you work. Okay, so Victor, you can stay after the class, but let me check other students' work. Hai, how far have you got? Are you following along? Are you following along? Okay. So how about you, Hagen? You're good. That's good. Steven, how about you, Steven? Steven.
I'm doing kind of good.
So do you mind to share yours?
I mean, like, I kind of have an issue, but I think this is more something I can do myself. It's just that my Pygame is converting my wave files to text, and I don't know how to convert into wave files.
It converts it when you
Yeah,
load
like,
it. It converts it,
yeah,
or
when I put it in the stem area, it basically turns it into a text file, and I don't really know how to turn it into an audio file.
okay, then you put it in another location.
Okay.
And
You
put
could just
it
put
in
into
another
a file converted, just convert it.
put it in another location, and then you just point your music to that location. So let me say, let me check it. Jingjing, do you get it to work? Can you get the score calculated and displayed. Does it work for you?
I think I don't know why mine doesn't display it.
Can you
Like,
share? Okay. So can you share your code to me? Scroll up. Let me see if you have that code for update the score. You have it, all right? So can you scroll down? I do see you have that function there. Scroll down more. Okay. Okay, scroll down more. So where do you calculate the score? Okay. All right. The problem is that you have the screen field 9101. So it happened after you update the score. You need to put it before. Okay, put it in the okay. Can you move your code from 93 to 97? Copy that score, copy that code, and delete it, and cut it, okay, and then scroll down, and then put it right after 9113. Okay, now run it. Because you just update it, then you fill the screen with green, so that's why it get covered. Okay, run it, see if you have that.
Okay, I just ran it. It works now.
Okay. So how about you? Now, can I get a Hagen to share yours? Hagen? Okay, good. Good. All right. So I want to stop here, and you get the score. So next week when we come back, we just do a little bit more, so we can make this a really fun game. And then if you in the future, if you want to improve it, and then you can improve it. But at least we want to make this a game so you can have some fun with it. It's a true game. It's a serious game as well. As I mentioned, once we finish this level, we are at the highest. So the next step was either let's go to the USICO to do the Olympiad, the computer programming Olympiad, or we continue with Java, or we we do a special one. I think I prefer let's go to the Olympiad, so we can go to the competition, the formal competition, doing the competitive programming. And that one you can do it again until you achieve to the highest level, and it will help you get into the ideal college you want to go. Okay, all right. Let me return